Magan, you can play. I think.
Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is one of India's premier top-ranked universities which focuses on transforming lives through learning, research and innovation. The university was established 19 years ago in the year 2003 and has made significant achievements in a short time. Education for life, education for living. Amrita University is guided by the thoughtfulness of our Chancellor, Amma, who laid down the philosophy of education for life by placing equal stress on education for a living. It is this vision that led to the establishment of a vast network of educational institutions that provide modern education while imparting the traditional values. While the pursuit of academic excellence forms the core of Amrita's success, it also undertakes the responsibility to shape the whole character of youngsters with love, care, and compassion. The university is headquartered at the foothills of the Western Ghats in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and has 5 other campuses spread across South India in Amritapuri, Kerala, Kochi, Kerala, Bengaluru, Karnataka, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and Mysore, Karnataka. The university will soon launch its new campuses in Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, Faridabad, Delhi, NCR. Our inspiration, a renowned humanitarian leader and spiritual leader, Amma, is the Chancellor and guiding light of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Amma's concept of education, stress on research, and commitment to instilling universal values have come together to shape Amrita into an institution with the latest achievements and discoveries combined with compassion and service-mindedness. As Amma said in 2010, when the State University of New York presented her with an honorary doctorate in Humane Letters. Rankings. The multi-campus, multidisciplinary research establishment is ranked as 5th best university in India 2021 by National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF. We have also been accorded the status of Institute of Eminence, IOE, by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. A testament to our pursuit of excellence is the NAC A++ accreditation score, the highest possible. NAC accreditation measures universities for excellence in curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices, global impact and international collaborations. Among the private educational institutions in the country, Amrita has entered into MOUs and collaborations with more than 450 leading universities around the globe. Students also benefit from our relations with industries and interactions with top management of multinational companies. These collaborations facilitate student exchange programs, student visits, industrial training, and project guidance under reputed corporate entities. Placements. Placements at Amrita have always been best in class, with students usually having more than 1 job offer. Some students have up to 3 job offers by the end of their course from reputed MNCs, be it engineering, management, life sciences, arts or sciences. Amrita is a place where the world's best companies look for talent. More than 200 companies visit the campus every year, and the average salary offered to our students is 5.8 lakh per annum. Meanwhile, the highest package offered is 56.95 lakh per annum, and the highest stipend for internship is rupees 80,000 per month. Amrita's Technology Business Incubator, TBI, is a non-profit supported by the Government of India that funds, mentors, and nurtures ideas by startups and entrepreneurs. It focuses on developing innovations in the areas of information technology, cybersecurity, networking, social media, and more. The TBI startups have obtained multiple awards and recognition, both from India and across the globe. Till date, TBI has incubated more than 75 startups and mentored 216 startup ideas with 0% loss from investments. It funds up to 1 crore rupees per startup and has opened up many more funding options through its partnership with venture capital firms and angel investor networks. Amrita TBI is one of the only 6 incubators selected to be world-class under Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission. Campus life, a home away from home. At Amrita, we believe in a holistic approach towards our students' development. To augment students' classroom learning, all campuses provide students with digital and central libraries, quiet study centers, seminar halls, e-learning studios, computer labs, and campus-wide free Wi-Fi. The university encourages both indoor and outdoor sports and games, and there are world-class swimming pools, gymnasiums, stadiums, and games arenas. Various clubs cater to the artistic and scientific minds of the students. If you look around all of Amrita's campuses, you will see the prevailing educational environment is in communion with nature. The sand, the seas, and the sky define the backdrop of these temples of learning. It vibrates with an energy of togetherness and encourages us to live in harmony with everything around us, including a unity within ourselves. This setting is suited to instill both learners and the learned with the courage and wisdom to face the challenges of life. The campus at Ettimani is considered India's most picturesque. It is like an oasis in a desert. What started out as a barren landscape underwent a miraculous transformation through the university's tree planting project. Today, there are more than 1 lakh trees growing there, the most extensive collection in number and species on a university campus in South India. The Live-in Labs program originated from Amma's idea to bridge the rural and urban divide by sending university students to remote villages in India to understand the everyday difficulties faced by people living there. The program is designed to be a multidisciplinary real-life learning experience offered to both international participants and Amrita University's faculty and students. The lab's objective is to expose youths to day-to-day problems faced in rural communities with a 2-week to 6-month periods of live-in internships in Indian villages. It also aims to inspire them to dedicate the knowledge and skills they acquired at university to help develop practical, cost-effective solutions to the challenges faced by the villages. Researchers at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham partner with senior scientists at world's leading research universities to innovate new ideas and invent new products, applying existing technology towards solving some of the world's most pressing problems, from disaster management to assuring access to education and the management and cure of diseases. This effort reflects in Amrita's national and international research rankings. India's first UNESCO Chair on Women's Empowerment and Gender Equality. Empowerment through Innovation and Technology. The Center for Women Empowerment and Gender Equality is a research-focused academic center for promoting gender equality and fostering women's empowerment with a special focus on using technology and other innovative methods. This center will offer diverse courses in key focus areas, pilot radical ideas, and collaborate with leading universities and institutions. The Amala Bharatam campaign, ABC, Clean India campaign was a program pioneered by Amrita, aimed at improving public health and restoring India's physical beauty. The project was launched in 2010 during Amma's 57th birthday celebrations, and through this campaign, volunteers undertake periodic cleaning of roads, markets, temples, government offices, and hospitals. As a part of this campaign, garbage was sorted and either recycled or properly disposed of. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, along with Kerala's Prisons and Correctional Services and Tamil Nadu Prison Department, initiated Amrita Yoga classes and IIM Technique meditation sessions in 2018 to address and transform the physical, mental, and emotional health of prison inmates. Our goal is to teach yoga and meditation techniques to help the prison inmates become more self-aware. They learn to breathe with awareness and manage emotions through these exercises. Ours is a changing world. It needs people who can adapt to change, with minds that can expand and include change, and yet hold human-friendly values that can withstand all changes. Which is why the world needs education that shapes the minds of these people, and which is why the world needs Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Education for life, education for living.
Good evening all. Welcome to another brand new episode of Amrita Cafe. Art integrated learning is a teaching learning process based on learning through arts, and it brings up collaboration, resilience and communication. In this discussion of Amrita Cafe, we will learn about art integrated learning and NEP. So we are having Thara Krishnan, principal of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Kozhikode Kendra, and she is also a district training coordinator for CBSE, who will put some light on why AIL is important in schools and is it possible to incorporate art in all subjects and classes. So welcome ma'am to today's episode. Good evening ma'am. Good evening ma'am. So students, we are conducting every Sunday we are conducting JE practices. So you can register through our you can register through our portal and attend crack AE with good scores.
Hello, Parvati.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm so sorry for that technical.
Oh, it's okay, ma'am. It's okay, ma'am. Yeah.
It's so common. So I'm just doing it from my phone right now. But
Okay,
it will take
ma'am.
some time. I'll just move on to my laptop later. As
Okay,
of
ma'am.
now, I'm using my phone.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So audience, please forgive us because we are facing technical issues. So ma'am, we can continue with the sessions.
Please, please.
Yeah, ma'am. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much actually to Amrita Cafe for inviting me to this show.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my first question is: we always had arts, music, dance, etc. are taught in our schools, right? So, how it's going to be different?
Okay. See, during our school days, we did have art, music, dance, drawing. All these subjects, all these forms were taught as subjects. We used to have a separate period for that, and we learned like music teacher used to come and teach us music, which we enjoyed, and it was rightly done so because it was in that primary classes where the children have this curiosity. They need to know more, they enjoy different things. So all these things were taught separately. Now we have realized that it is not enough that we teach these subjects separately. We need to integrate it to the other subjects also. That's the only difference over here. We still have all the art forms being learned in the school. How to do it along with the subjects. It's an experiential learning that is happening. Parvati, I can't hear you.
Sorry, ma'am. So, can you please explain why AL is necessary in school?
Pardon? I couldn't get you.
Sorry, why is AIL necessary in schools right now?
All right. It is necessary in schools because, as I was telling in the beginning, now art was taught as a separate subject. But now what we are doing, especially with this coming of NEP, the total pedagogy is slowly changing. We need to try out things which will bring about joyful learning among the students. Because see, previously during the olden days, a lot of importance was given to all the art subjects, which is very clear from our ancient universities like Nalanda and Takshashila. Just visit them and we know what importance these universities had given to art. Because art is actually the expression, the inner expression of anybody, any individual. The innermost thoughts do come out for that individual through art. And that importance was very, very evident. But gradually what happened with life, you know, as it is, a lot of competitions coming in, and gradually art started taking a back seat. Our complete concentration was now into subjects. Subjects learned separately. It was like different compartments. You have maths, you have science, you have social. They were all different compartments. And art slowly started taking a back seat. Finally, it came to a stage where art was just for maybe an annual day, maybe competitions. It was just limited to those things alone, which was not right.
Sorry, ma'am. Hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
My video is not working.
Oh,
That
okay.
you cannot start the video because the host has stopped it, is what is being told.
No, you are now co-host, ma'am.
Okay. My video is not working. Anyway, I'll just continue with.
Now we can turn on, ma'am.
Okay. It still says
Same issue, ma'am.
need permission.
We'll check, ma'am. Yeah. Now it's fine.
You cannot start the video because the host has stopped it.
Now it's fine, ma'am. I think you can turn on your video.
Right.
That's fine. I think your connection is
Anyway,
a little.
no
Yeah.
problem. Okay. So shall I just continue?
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Doesn't matter even if the video is not coming yet.
Yeah. Now it's fine, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This has to go on.
You can continue the session, ma'am.
Okay. So I was just telling how art had taken a back seat. And what happened is the importance of art was slowly being lost. So knowing the importance, what big role. Am I audible, Parvati? Any
Yes,
problem?
yes. No, ma'am. It's fine, ma'am. It's fine. It's going good.
So what happened is, gradually, as I was telling, since art took a back seat, we had to bring it forward. It should not be limited just for those competitions or for just an annual day, or maybe for the competitions that all the inter-school competitions. And not only that, art was given importance only in the lower classes. When we reached the higher classes, teachers started taking away the art period for teaching of mathematics or science or English. It was taught, actually it was seen just as a light period. Okay, that had to be brought back. The importance of art, because we know that art has to exist if we need to know the individual, because education is art of living. Okay, education is something that has to teach us how to live and not make just a livelihood. We were moving from actually living to livelihood. That had to be taken away. And the new NEP, that is a National Education Policy, placed a lot of stress on integrated learning, be it art, sports, gamification, storytelling, all these things come into it. Now, here, through art, how the subjects can be taught. Many a times, see, even my teachers, my maths teachers and all had asked me, ma'am, how art for teaching maths? I mean, it was something they couldn't actually think of, but with all those experiments that we had been doing, with all those trainings that we have been getting, we have understood that art can be integrated into anything. Okay, anything. Because for a small child, to arouse the curiosity of a child, it is enough to show the child a butterfly. And the child automatically enjoys the colors, the flapping of the wings, the movements of the wings, all this the child learns. So there actually real life learning is what is happening. And that curiosity should be aroused in the child right from the smaller classes, right from the primary classes. Only then it can be carried forward. Okay, so each subject teacher should bring in all these things into the subject. I'll just give you a small example. Now, while teaching maths, say patterns. Okay, the patterns in maths, when the teacher is teaching, if the teacher just draws the patterns, there are different type of learners. Some learn by just seeing, some learn by doing, some learn by reading. So we need to cater, and a classroom consists of all type of learners, and every learner should be given importance. It is for this purpose also, the maths teacher, suppose she's teaching patterns, instead of just showing it on the board, suppose she takes the children out, okay, into the school garden and shows the flowers. Now, every flower, if we had noticed, it has a pattern, the way the petals have been placed. In a simple flower, it would be just 5 petals. In a bigger flower, it could be 8 petals. Rose, it could be plenty of petals. And all these petals are so beautifully arranged in a pattern. Okay, now when the maths teacher takes the help of a flower to teach the pattern, the biology teacher is also helped by this. Because when the child walks into the school garden, watching the flower, there what happens is the child knows about flowers better. The color of the flower, the smell of the flower, and the biology teacher is also able to connect it. So maths comes in, biology comes in, the drawing teacher can tell about the colors, the mixing of the colors. If it is the rose color, how to make the rose color come into that. All these things happen simultaneously. So it is not compartmented. The subjects, what was happening is like the maths teacher never went into art, the science teacher never went into maths area. It was taught as a different subject alone. But with the coming of art integration, all the subjects started getting integrated. That is why it becomes a joyful learning, an experiential learning. Actually, the child learns, self-learning happens. Now, the child, suppose, I'll just give you an example. In the class, while the maths classes are going on, the child would have felt quite dull. Maybe the child is just, I wouldn't call anybody a slow learner because there are no slow learners. There are only different type of learners. So the child would have actually, sat looking, trying to find out or trying to reason with what the teacher is doing on the board. Now, this child, if he's good at drawing, suppose the teacher calls him forward and tells, now just draw on the board what you understood. Okay, it might not be mathematics that is doing, but his understanding of that particular maths area, he depicts it through his own drawing. All right, now there he becomes a better learner. He attains more confidence because he knows that, yes, he too can do things. So the backbencher who was, sitting, just listening, comes forward, comes and becomes an active learner. The person who was not, really interested becomes an active learner. This is also the wonder of integrating art into the subject. It can do wonders, Parvati. I can tell you, it can really do wonders.
Yes.
And another example I would like to give is, suppose the history teacher, she's taking a lesson on, say, Gupta age, the golden age of Guptas. Okay, we have Chandragupta Maurya, and of course, Chanakya cannot be there. Gupta Empire cannot be there without Chanakya. Now, instead of just coming to the class and telling that, okay, today we are going to learn about the history of Gupta age, the golden age, and this is how it is. Suppose the teacher, in fact, creates the court of Chandragupta, okay, in the classroom with all those, the king and Chanakya, the other ministers, everybody over there. Now, the only difference there is, instead of just going to that historic thing, suppose the teacher just connects, okay, what is the main problem of society today? The child might say, okay, now it's going to be definitely COVID. Okay, COVID and the online classes, which the children are really finding it, I mean, they're missing their school. Suppose the child comes up with that problem. The teacher can say, okay, you are the king. All right, Chandragupta, you have Chanakya, who's known for all his famous ways, and then the other ministers could just ask the child separately, what do you suggest? What is going to be the solution for it? There, the teacher is in fact, through role play, creating a court of an history age, and then move slowly to Gupta Empire. So the children automatically connects, okay, this was the duty of the ministers to help the king in finding a solution. The king was supposed to not take decision on his own, but he had to consult the others. So administration. In history, administration is quickly learned by the students through this role play. Then another thing is like, I'm just dealing with different subjects, that's all. Now, English. Suppose the teacher is teaching a poem, The Brook, and the brook flows down from the mountains, hitting against those pebbles, and it's so beautifully pictured, this brook poem. Now, suppose the teacher divides the class into, say, 4 or 5 groups, okay, and tells, you can do one thing. Each one can tune this poem, The Brook. You can tune it according to your favorite song. There, it's a group of 5. The children have to, first thing they have to do is understand all the group members. Then the next thing they have to decide is which is the song, because if there are 5 students will have different favorite songs. But they have to come to an understanding. Okay, this is the song we are going to select for tuning this poem. After that, they have to decide how to tune it. Each one will have to, so there might be a singer there might be a script writer, all these people. And even if you're going to do it in a dance form, a choreographer, a hidden choreographer might be there. So all these children will be there in this group of 5, and each one will contribute. After that, the teacher can just ask them to come and sing this poem in the class. You will find that this brook poem can be sung in different ways. And when this is repeated, automatically the children understand the poem, they understand the meaning of the poem, and they even learn to visualize the brook flowing down the mountains. Okay, rather than standing there and just telling this is what the poem is, this is a brook, it is happening this way, this way, this way. Now, when the children do it, in this group work, what we find is the children learn to make a group coordination, collaboration, understanding with each other, tolerance, okay, learning to agree with others, patience, and creativity, of course. All these things the child learns by just tuning this poem. So it just happens. Art, through art, how it just happens. Now there, why we say art, though we are teaching the lessons through art integration, teaching art separately is also very important, because children should know the basic of things. Like if it is drawing, the mixing of colors, all that he or she should be aware. Only then he can bring in his best while he is doing it with the subjects. In the same way, the music teacher should be teaching the children actually how music is done, so, teaching them to sing. Only then the child can overhear, tune it. So art subject should be taught with all its purity. At the same time, it should be integrated with the other subjects, making the subjects very, very interesting.
Yes, ma'am. You beautifully explained each and every examples. Actually, while you're explaining each examples, I am also creating all images in my mind. When you spoke about this brook poem, it's my I already taught it my school time, so I'm reminding all these. Yeah, this should be a really like this should really helpful for those students. I'm sure that, ma'am. So my next question is, ma'am, what is the role of teachers in using this pedagogy?
Right. Now, the teachers, they do play a very important role because it is in their hands to make the lesson interesting. Recently, one of my chemistry teacher, she was teaching elements, and it was done through a fashion parade. She took them to our hall and gave them the different colors of the different elements. I'm not very good at chemistry, so I was just sitting and watching
I'm
it.
also, ma'am.
Right. So that was done. The children came forward in different colored dresses, being different elements. And there, when she was teaching about water, she made that hydrogen and oxygen. Two children representing hydrogen and one child representing oxygen. And when they came together, how the difference happened. So it was actually, all the 8th standard students, it was done for 8th standard. All of them were sitting and watching. And after the class, we can make sure that they will never forget what they have seen. They might not have seen it as chemistry, but they have loved that fashion show happening, ramp walking and all. The children just love it. So they will never forget those elements, how it has been done. Now here, the teacher has to find out, has to research, has to be very creative, and should want to do it. Now, n number of trainings, n number of reading articles will not help. It will help, but it alone will not help. A teacher should be a teacher from within. She should have that passion. But once she has it, there is no stopping her. I can see it among my teachers. Because if the teacher really wants, she takes a particular lesson, wants to find out how it can be taught in a different way, gamification, how through a game we can teach a particular lesson. See, I said in the beginning, maths teacher was wondering how can art be connected with maths? But with these examples, it was very clear. And the teacher then started researching how each subject can be taught in a different way. And the result was wonderful because the children started loving maths. Usually maths is one subject which there are the best ones who love it and the ones who finds it difficult. So when it is taught in this manner, everybody used to look forward to that maths teacher coming and teaching. Through songs, actually, the division and everything, it was tuned and it was sung by the children. Another thing is, teachers can do it, but in addition to that, if you give the children the chance, sometimes they do it much better. They think far more than what we can. They are the latest ones, so their thinking power is far, far more. And they, in fact, come up with suggestions like, ma'am, can we do it this way? Can we do, this particular thing, can we teach it in this manner? So there, the teacher has to encourage the learners. The teacher herself should be motivated. The teacher should be a learner, a researcher, and keep herself always updated. Should know that the old method of teaching is slowly moving away. We cannot, because rote learning cannot exist anymore. It has to be experiential learning, competency based. All these things should come in. So the teacher should be aware of the changing scenario in education and prepare herself also for it. So the teacher's preparation is very, very important. It has to be planned right from the beginning. This lesson, I'm going to teach it in this manner. Or maybe all the lessons cannot be done integrating art because the time limit is there, completion of portions, curriculum has to be completed, all the things are there. But at least a few lessons can be done in this manner and the children will love it. So teachers do have a very, very important role to make teaching, learning interesting, joyful.
Yes, ma'am. So is it possible to incorporate art in all subjects and all classes?
Yes, of course. In all the classes, it is possible. Even in 10th standard and 12th standard, which is appearing for the board exam, it is possible. Only thing, it has to be planned. And every subject, see, I've given you an example in maths. I've given you an example in chemistry, in social, science, of course, the teachers can definitely do it. Science is a subject which is very creative too, isn't it? So every subject, this art integration can be brought in. Only thing, it has to be planned. And when the children get totally involved in it, the classroom also becomes lively. Otherwise, when it is just the teacher, it should never be a teacher-centric classroom. It should be a student-centric classroom. So when we bring in all these methodology into our classroom, the traditional classroom also changes. And the children are very happy at attending the classes. They enjoy, they look forward to it, because that's one thing every teacher should want the children to do. Look forward to her class. Okay, this is going to be English period. Why is she on leave today? We miss her. That should be what the children should feel. And that the teacher can create only if she decides to change her pedagogy and going for the latest ones.
That's true, ma'am. That's true. So my next question is, what are the objectives of this AIL?
The main thing is joyful learning. Okay, the children start enjoying what they are learning and move away from rote learning. The next one is they become more confident, because they are finding out things on their own. They are not just mere listeners. They are experimenting. They are in fact doing it. So they become more confident about what they are learning. The joyful learning happens. They become more confident. Another thing is they become competent too, since they are doing things on their own. Another very important thing is they find out those hidden talents in them. Now, a child, when, as I said in the group, when they are doing things, the child suddenly realizes he can write a poem, or he can sing a song, he can tune a poem. So knowing oneself, that's why in the beginning I said, art is the inner expression of a person. And it is through art that an individual expresses well. So the individual understands himself. Okay, this is the real me. This is what I really enjoy doing. And not only that, once he discovers the him, the real him, his planning for the future also changes. Now, what do I want in life? What is it that I'm looking forward to? What is it that I need to take up after my schooling is over? So all these, he begins to make choices in life slowly. This is what I really want. Till then, nobody would have, helped him to find out what his real talent is. But when he himself finds out, suppose, okay, I now want to become a choreographer because I feel I'm good at it. My future is in choreography. The child begins to decide on his future with confidence. So all these, the total development of an individual happens when we have this experiential learning with art integration, rather than just uncertain students not knowing what they really want. So their future is also slowly getting shaped in this manner. They begin to know themselves. That inner love, what is their actual inner love, they start realizing.
Yes. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing this.
Right. Another very important thing is, now when it comes to our country, now toy making is a very important thing that our Prime Minister keeps saying. Rather than getting all those guns and other toys imported from outside, our small villages have been asked to make toys. Now, when the children start doing it, they begin to respect the culture and heritage of the country. That's one part. And another part, it helps the country economically too. So all these things are into it. Now, CBSE says that they have this thing of pairing the states. Kerala is paired with Himachal Pradesh. And we are to do art integrated project. It can be mixing all the subjects together. Now, in order to do this project, a child in Kerala should know the complete culture and history of Himachal Pradesh. So their learning happens. They learn to respect the culture of other states. They learn to understand the other states. In the same way, a person in Himachal Pradesh will know more about Kerala, our coconut trees, our Kathakali, our Trishurpuram, all this becomes known to them. So that way of understanding and respecting the culture of each other is another very important thing that happens in this art integration.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you for sharing your valuable time with us, ma'am. So I'm sure that through this AIL, students can make their passion to profession, as you said before. So this will be really helpful for those upcoming generations if you follow these methods. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing this.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you on next episode. Till then, it's me, Parvati, signing off.
Namaste. Thank you so much.